Hello and welcome to the Assorted Crackers podcast. We created this for men who find themselves maybe past the half-century mark to offer fresh takes on the passions, pastimes, and distractions that we use to recharge our batteries and restore our souls. I'm Eric, and I'm here with co-hosts Lee and Wilson, and we're here to serve up snackable topics like college football, hunting, grilling, and other assorted small bites. And I can assure you that our mutual appreciation for Kentucky brown water will make frequent appearances. So if we do it right, you're going to leave informed, entertained, and a little bit hungry for more. Guys, welcome. It's good to be here.
It's great to be here.
Yeah.
Very excited about it.
We've been talking about this for quite a while. We're now behind the microphone. Hopefully we're going to find something interesting to cover. I can't imagine that we won't.
I believe we will.
We always do.
So, I think the first time we were all in the room together and got to know each other was at a bourbon tasting several years ago. I believe it was at Wilson's house. And that's where our story began. So I thought it would be cool for this first episode to talk a little bit about our own bourbon origin story, if you will, right?
Yeah.
So what is it, or where is it, or how is it that you developed your bourbon palate? Like, what was your story?
Well, I think mine dates back to when my grandfather, we would all go hunting together, he and his buddies.
Yeah.
And they had a concoction they called fruit cocktail. And so it was bourbon and variety of fruits poured in a jug, and it would sit there and ferment. And then after the hunt, they would all sit around and talk about the day and life, and and sip on their fruit cocktail.
Yeah.
And so it just brings home what bourbon, I mean, it's a fellowship drink.
Right.
I like that fellowship drink.
I mean, so it just brings people together, and I think so the recipe that is, it doesn't have to be, you can put whatever bourbon in there you want, but back in the day, I would say it was probably Old Granddad or Jim Beam or something to that effect.
Right.
But, I made it for you all today. I used Buffalo Trace.
Because you're fancy. You're a fancy guy.
like that.
Uh-huh.
Applebee's too.
Wow.
So anyway, you go to, but you take your Buffalo, your fifth of bourbon, a can of fruit cocktail, a small, half a can of mandarin oranges, and a 6-ounce jar of maraschino cherries. Put it in your jug and let it sit for a little while and sip on it.
Let that sugar do its thing.
Let that juice do its thing. It's not too sweet. If you wanted to use a higher proof bourbon, it would probably give you a little bit better bourbon,
I can tell you it's crushable. It's very easy to drink.
And it's a year-round thing. It's not like
On a hot day, I can see myself grounding in the lake.
or sitting by your grill,
Yeah.
or after a hunt in the wintertime, or sitting by a fire. I mean, it's just a year-round good, easy sipping cocktail.
I feel like it's one that it's even an introductory or a gateway for your wives to like bourbon, because you don't really taste the bourbon.
You really don't. It's like, it's like those college punches you had where you'd put you'd Kool-Aid or whatever, and you couldn't taste the alcohol.
The Everclear.
Yes.
But
Did your grandfather ever slide his glass over to you and say, or did he let you eat the fruit at the bottom when you were done?
I wish he did, but usually I was around my father, and that was...
You had responsible
I would say
family.
we were pretty responsible.
Okay.
It was
So you
always-
didn't enjoy this until later in life.
until I got college age.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you sharing it with us today.
Well, sure. It's just something, that
I
just
love
good
it.
memories. And
Thank you, Wilson.
I can honestly, I've never had this before. And you can't really taste the bourbon. I mean, it's there, it's doing its job, but
it's not overpowering.
it's not overpowering. Well, thank you. All right.
Yeah. Well
So-
done. Well done.
So I will say my daughter-in-law my son and his wife were in town for a wedding this weekend. And when I made it, I had them try it and she liked it.
Yeah.
She thought it was good, and she's not a bourbon drinker. So
That speaks to the popularity, to the broad reach.
Did you put it in a martini glass for her?
I did not.
She probably would have appreciated that.
It probably would have gone over better.
Yeah.
Did you give her a straw?
No straws.
Umbrella? Umbrella?
Dude,
I mean, this is kind of an umbrella drink.
It's
Is that offensive?
I think it is.
Oh, sorry,
Come on,
Granddad.
man.
Sorry,
Come on.
Granddad.
I'm just kidding.
Well, it is. It's mighty good. And what's the word you used? Crushable.
Crushable.
You got to be real careful with this. Like it's a sipper. It's a sipper. It'll deceive you.
It can get you in trouble.
All right.
No doubt.
Well, Lee, what about you? You have clearly got one of the more refined bourbon palates in the room, but I'm sure it hasn't always been that way. So what's your story?
I would say my introduction was only educational with my grandfather. So my grandfather and grandmother, when he would get home from work at the evenings, they would pull out the old charter and have some old charter and Fresca. He loved to call it his draps. I still have his glass. The
Spell
glass,
that?
I don't even know how you spell
Draps?
it. Yeah, that's what he called it. I don't know how you spell it, but I've got still got the glass.
Okay.
There's a little juice glass it's got maybe 4 ounces in it, and he would mix that up with a little ice and have that every night. 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces of old charter, and then a little Fresca on top with the ice. And so that was my introduction to bourbon. Now,
Fresca, by the way, is a nice citrus tasting drink.
well,
What are you looking for sponsors right now?
Fresca.
Let's
We're
hear it
always
for Fresca.
interested. So.
It's just not always the easiest to find anymore.
It's not. It's not. But I would say my palate and my time has grown. My whole philosophy with bourbon has changed. Probably when I got to the drinking age and I was drinking bourbon, it was more for football games or for gathering or events, and I would probably mix it with Sprite or Coke and have more than I probably should have. So today, bourbon means something different. I guess it had the same thing. It was all about having fun with friends and doing things with friends, but it's still that today, but it is not about how much or how you consume it with multiple drinks and things like that, but it would be more of a sipper. So I would say today I find bourbon as it doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or Democrat. It doesn't matter where you came from or what you do. You can sit down over a glass of bourbon and taste the bourbon and figure out whatever. You could be complete polar opposites on every single thing out there. But bourbon will sit down and bring you together, and you'll think about the good times that you had and the memories that you're making. And sharing a bottle of bourbon with good friends, no matter what it is what it's all about. And so when I think of bourbon, I think about good times and good friends and memories.
I'm thinking about the Coca-Cola commercial back when I'd like to teach the world to sing, but I feel like Jim Beam could come out with the same version.
That's a
The
good
universal
point.
truth of life.
That's a good point. At least a hottie toddy.
That's right. That's right. Well, I was thinking about this because my father was a bourbon drinker.
Sure.
You both had grandfather stories. My grandfathers both lived far away. I didn't really know him well, but his go-to drink. I grew up in New Orleans. You remember, I talked a lot about all the great places to eat. Like eating out was the thing to do on the weekend, and so Dad would always order a Manhattan, and he would always order it up. And it always came with a cherry. And my older sister, at some point, started asking him for the cherry when he got done with his Manhattan. And she got the cherry, and I figured, that's not fair. I want the cherry. That looks amazing. So Dad, being the good guy that he is, would always order a second Manhattan, and I got to eat the cherry at the end. And I guess it's a little bit like the fruit cocktail. It's a good way into it because that cherry had the essence. It had that smell. It had that. There's nothing like it. I'm still not sure why they haven't made a cologne out of bourbon, because I would wear that.
Oh, wow.
Can we think about that?
I think that's an
idea.
But that was sort of how it
They do
started.
have shaving cream. Wilson put me on some of that.
Okay,
Vanilla bourbon.
same. Yep.
Cremo.
but
Looking for another sponsor.
Anytime. And then so that was sort of the first time I actually tasted it, which is a nice, safe way to do it. Fast forward to Ole Miss. I go off. I'm a freshman. All three of us went there, so we've got these stories, right? It's a big bourbon community.
Sure.
And there was a liquor store you probably all remember, Kiami's.
Next to the bowling alley.
Next to the bowling alley, that's right. And it was not known for its selection, and it was not known for its prices, but it was known for the fact that for the most part, they didn't card you. If you walked in there, you probably did this, and say, I need a pint of Jim Beam, because that's usually all we could afford. He would look you dead in the eye, and he'd kind of squint, and he'd try to intimidate you, and he'd say, are you 21? And as long as you said, yes, sir, I am, he'd sell you that Jim Beam, which, of course, would go home to the fraternity house, and you'd mix it with Coke. It didn't matter if it was good bourbon or not.
Right.
But that was sort of how it started. And then later in life, of course, you discover all these amazing, actually, good tasting, well-aged bourbons that just sort of opened your eyes and go, wow, this is more than just something you mix with Coke. It's actually better when it's neat. I feel like, Lee, in college, you were drinking neat bourbon.
Nope. I was bourbon with Sprite. And if I had a little congestion, I might even drop a little Hall's Plus in there with the little...
Gross.
That's just so wrong on so many levels.
I couldn't help myself, but I mean, clear your sinuses and everything while you're in the middle of the game. It's a great time.
I mean, a hot toddy is nothing more than it was my understanding anyway, it was created to help address cold sinus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was all about, I've always been focused on health.
That's what I like about you. Oh my
I think your
God.
pants are on fire.
Nice. So let's shift gears a minute because this is our first episode of a brand new podcast, right? And we've been talking about this for a long time. It just sort of came up as an idea of, we were sitting around one day talking. And the reality is there's thousands of podcasts covering any topic that you could possibly think of. But we felt like we had something to share that was unique and different. But I think each of us have a different point of view on that. So what is it about this that you feel like would make this podcast, Assorted Crackers, unique and something that we thought the world would want to hear?
So for me, I think there's so many podcasts, they're so specific on whether it's bourbon, college football, whatever. I just think, my thought was that we would cover a lot more topics and be able to cover and try to, because when you're sitting around at dinner with friends or whatever you're doing, you're not just talking about one specific thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I felt like this could be very casual and talk about stuff, and it's not necessarily a specific, we're going to just cover same generalities, but just have a good time talking like we always do when we get together. And so why not?
Love it.
Why not? That's your motivation.
Why not?
Okay.
It's like, look.
Better done.
Okay. I like it. No kidding. I think you're onto something.
Why not?
Why not? That's what I'm going to get the t-shirt. Lee, what about you? Like, what do you think?
So
why do you want to do this?
I feel like that we have sat around and had so much fun together in the past, talking about so many different topics. And I feel like you guys, we laugh, make each other laugh. We poke fun at each other. It's a lot of fun. We have different opinions. We have different ideas, but yet we have so many things that are in common. And the thing that I think about Assorted Crackers in particular is you got different ideas, different opinions, and why not let us talk about it? We're 50-something-year-old guys, and we all are going through different things. We've had many different experiences, so why not talk about it? I think it's a great thing to do, and I think that the main thing that is important to me is that we focus on doing something that would appeal to other men and other people and let them know that it's okay to be normal, but sometimes it's better done than done right. You just got to get out there and do something. And I think we can make a difference. And I think we'll have great guests, and this thing will evolve, and we'll get better every single time. So I'm excited about the future and what we're going to do.
I appreciate that. I like what you said about making a difference. I think there is an audience out there. I wouldn't want to do this if I didn't think we had something unique to contribute. And if I can bring it, real talk for just a minute, bring it deep. I think there's something about men in our 50s that historically, that's been a tough time, if we're being honest. Our fathers, sort of, that was the era when you've raised your children and they're out of the house. You probably don't have a large group of friends. It's a tough time. Sometimes from a career standpoint, you maybe feel like you've gone as far as you're going to go. And that's no longer true. And I think the ability to just remind ourselves that our best days are ahead of us, that we have some great memories to make, and it doesn't have to be over the top, hiking the Kilimanjaro mountains. The basic hobbies and just passions and things that we enjoy is the way we keep our flame lit, and
Sure.
Our best days, like I said, I believe our best days are ahead of us. And I think there's a lot of people out there who need to be reminded of that. Guys, that is probably all that we're going to have time for today on this episode, but I really did enjoy it. I hope you did as well, and I hope our listeners did. Listen, do you out there have your own bourbon origin story that you want to tell? Or maybe there's a hobby that you enjoy that you'd like us to cover on a future episode. You can email us at 3assortedcrackers, that's the number 3 assortedcrackers @gmail.com. You can also follow us wherever you get your podcasts. I hope you do. And if you want to learn a little bit more about Assorted Crackers, our Instagram page is at 3assortedcrackers. Again, the number 3 Assorted Crackers. Until then, don't let yourself get stale and don't be afraid to try new flavors.